Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's clear? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
The Zoom, is it clear? Can somebody confirm? Prabhuji's voice is coming clear?
And there it's coming?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Online
Oh,
it's coming.
thank you.
Okay? Fine. Okay. Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaura Chandaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttamatakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shirupam Sagradatam Sangana Ranganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parisavasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Samagana Lalita Sri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priya Manchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kolam Nastyeva Nastyeva Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Jaiva Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, a wonderful book. And so for those who are new to this book, some devotees are new, and it is in 3 parts. The first division is there, and it is, as the name says, Jaiva Dharma, Jivka Dharma, the Dharma of the Jiva, the spirit soul, the embodied being, human being. And and he's explaining fundamentally there are 2 kinds of Dharma. One is known as Nitya Dharma and the other one is known as Naimittika Dharma. So, of course, also we have to understand the meaning of Dharma. Dharma, it is translated as usually as a religion, but if you see according to Sanskrit Shabdakosh, Sanskrit dictionary, that Dharma means also the constitutional position of something. Like water. We have water. What is the dharma of water?
Liquid.
It is liquid and hopefully it is sweet. It should be sweet. When we think of water, we want to drink water, it should be sweet water. And so that is a natural situation. So the natural situation of the jiva is to serve Krishna. So service to Krishna, that is Dharma. Jiva is so power, Krishna is. But sometimes you can see the water is changed. The Dharma of the water. You can put water in the fridge and then you have ice cubes they make sometimes. And put in the juice or something in the summer. Or in the West you can see sometimes small lakes, they're frozen. Even in Switzerland, in Zurich, there's a huge lake, 30 kilometers long and maybe 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers broad. In my childhood, one time, or even 2 times, the lake was frozen.
Oh, Krishna.
And people were doing ice skating. but there the government is careful and they will check, and then only they will allow the people to go on the ice for skating. And so similarly, so that is known as Vikrit, it is changed. So similarly, the jiva, when it is he is in material world, not conscious of his constitutional position, then he will engage in some activity that is not his real position actually, his real nature. And then sometimes, of course, then still some dharma is there. Naimittika means it is occasional, it is for some time, like the Christian dharma, Christian religion, Muslim religion. It is mainly pertaining to the body. They have knowledge that yes, we are soul and God is there, but they don't have sufficient information to directly be engaged in the service of the Lord, Krishna. They know God is there, and they may pray to God also, but they don't actually know the actual position of the Lord. That is known as Sarup Brahma, and not aware of the position of God, the beautiful form of God, or one's own nature and the process of devotional service. That is one anartha, as explained also in the scriptures, unwanted thing. So we have to overcome that. So he's explaining about this, what is actually Nitya Dharma, the actual devotional service to the Lord, which is the constitutional position of the jiva, and then he's explaining about Naimittika Dharma. So that is in the first part, which we have explained the last, I think 75 classes or so. So the last almost 8 months. That is the first part, the 12 chapters. Now we're going to the second part, second division of this book, that is known as the fundamental principles of Sambandha Vidya and Prayojan Gyan. So these are three important aspects of the Absolute Truth: Sambandha Gyan, Avideya Gyan, and Prayojan Gyan. And that will be discussed. And also about the position of the Absolute Truth, that is in Sambandha Gyan, and the position of the Jiva. And so Jivas who are liberated and Jivas who are conditioned, that will be explained. And the process of sadhana, that is in Abhideya Gyan. The process of sadhana. And then about Prayojan, so the necessity when one has reached the transcendental platform, the spiritual platform. And then 3 chapters are in regards to Nam Tattva. And then Namaparad is explained, and then Namabhas, and of course then Shuddhanam is also explained a little bit. And in the third part, it is all about Braj Bhakti, which is the goal in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Kali Yuga Avatar, and he came to establish the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy names. And then he gave also the mood which we should have for chanting the holy names. He came to give Braj Bhakti. And he is no different from Radha and Krishna. So he's Krishna, but with the mood and the lust of Srimati Radharani. And therefore he's also giving this relationship, the highest relationship which we can have with Krishna, that is the Madhurya Bhav, the Gopi Bhav. He's giving Braj Bhakti, Dasya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, but specifically he wanted to give Unat Ujjvala Ras. So that Unat Ujjwal, the most bright and shining mellow of the transcendental love of the gopis. And and of course then he is also given the wonderful love, the most exalted love of Srimati Radharani. So it is also explained that he came to taste and actually to give, to show the love of Srimati Radharani, pranaya, Sri Radha pranaya. And then by her love, she's experiencing the wonderful qualities of Krishna. Rupa Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Lila Madhurya, and the Prem Madhurya, the loving exchange. So that is what he came to give ultimately. What he wants to give, and what the acharyas in our sampradaya, they have come to give ultimately. So that is the goal in the Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya. But there is a gradual process to advance from Shraddha to Prem, and that is explained here also. And so also he has explained about Dasha Mula Tattva, the 10 essential and most important concepts of the Absolute Truth given by Mahaprabhu himself, so that he has explained in this book, and separately there is a book, Dashamula Tattva by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So in the third division it is all about Braj Bhakti, and from the beginning stage, and when one will understand one's position as a servant of the Lord, a friend, in parental affection or conjugal affection. So that he has explained in detail for the understanding of the devotees. And then specifically also, then he has explained about the Madhura Ras and the love of the gopis and the different kinds of gopis and so on. And how to attain perfection by performing devotional service under the guidance of the pure devotees. So it is very informative, and it is written in a very nice form, narrative. So easy to understand. Of course we need some guidance still, but it is very interesting because it is in a story form, so to say. And it is after Mahaprabhu's disappearance in Godrum, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur stayed. His house was there, Surabi, known as Surabi Kunj. And nearby is the place where he was doing his studies, some official work, known as Swananda Sukhada Kunj. And so those who have been in Mayapur, surely they have seen that place. Not yet, huh? So we pray that you can go soon and see these wonderful places. And in Swanand, in the Swanand Sukhada Kunj, from there actually he had the vision of Mahaprabhu's appearance place. So wonderful place. And there he established also the worship of Rupanuga Dhara. Smara Gauraga Dhara Kelikalam Bhava Gauraga Dhara Dhara Shinu Gauraga Dhara Tarukata Bhaja Goduma Kanana Konjavedo Bhaja Goduma Kanana Konjavedo Bhaja Goduma Kanana Konjavedo. It's a very beautiful stotram by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaja Godruma Kanana Konjavidom. Bhaja, I worship. Where? Godruma Kanana in the gardens of Godrum. Even now it is very beautiful, Godrum. There are not too many people there, and some gardens are there. That's one of my favorite places, Godrum Dweep. And especially also because Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house is there, and actually there's a temple there now. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they have made a temple there. There was a mango tree there. I have seen that mango tree, but that mango tree is gone now. But many years ago there was a mango tree. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur stayed there, he used to get the mangoes from there. I saw the tree, I didn't get a mango, but we saw the tree, that was good enough. And but they made a nice temple now. And so, yes, and there so established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar. And also in the Mool Mat, Bhaktisiddhanta, in the Yoga Pit, the deities of Gaur Gadadhar also. In Mayapur's appearance place. So he has written the stotram of 20 verses glorifying Bhajagodruma Kanana in the gardens of Godrum, worship in the gardens of Godrum, Bhajagodruma Kanana Kunja Vidhu, that refers to the moon. Worship the moon of Godrum, that is Gaura Chandra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the full moon. And Krishna is also like the full moon, Krishna Chandra. But Krishna is Shamrang. So, but still, Krishna is very effulgent. Actually, the Brahma Jyotis, Krishna is effulgence. And the sun and moon, they are getting the effulgence from the Brahma Jyoti, Krishna Chandra. And Mahaprabhu is Gaura Chandra. So, Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura. So, that is the first verse of the Satsandarbhas Bhav, Jiva Goswami. Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura. Inside is Krishna, outside is Gaura, Golden. And also it is mentioned in Chaitanya Chaitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj that Radha Bhava Duti Somitam Nome Krishna Sarupam. Mahaprabhu is Krishna Sarup, but Radha Bhava Duti Soviratam. So he has come with the bhav, with the mood of Radharani and the lust of Radharani. So he's Krishna, but so therefore Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura. So most effulgent, most beautiful. And so Vande Guru Mishabhaktam Isham Mishabhataragam Tapakasham Chatat Chakti Krishna Chaitanya Samgatam. So that is Mahaprabhu and the aspects of the absolute truth of Mahaprabhu. Just like Krishna is Swami Bhagavan, the source of everything, similarly Mahaprabhu is no different from Radha Krishna. Is also Swami Bhagavan. No one else is addressed as Swami Bhagavan, only Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. But of course Mahaprabhu saw in the mood of Radharani, and in this world coming as a devotee is always trying to remember Krishna and chant Krishna's names and speaking about Krishna, worshipping Krishna, telling others to worship Krishna, to chant the holy names. So Gaur Gadadhar. Smara Gaura Gadadhar Keli Kalam. So Smara Gaura Gadadhar, we should remember Gaur Gadadhar and Keli Kalam, the beautiful pastimes of Gaur Gadadhar. Bhava Gaura Gadadhar Paksha Chara. So we should think that we belong to the Paksha, to the group of Gaur Gadadhar in Gaur Lila. Because Gaur Gadadhar, none different from Radhisha. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but with the mood of Radharani, and Gadadhar is actually Srimati Radharani. So we worship Gaur Gadadhar, we may worship, and then Radha Shama Sundar. So Mahaprabhu is thinking always about Krishna. So we understand that, of course, we don't say that first Krishna came and then Mahaprabhu came. Neither do we say that Mahaprabhu came and then Krishna came. They're existing since time immemorial. But still, ultimately, we understood that Krishna is Mulrup. And Mahaprabhu is not different, but ever existing. But Krishna is the source of everything. And all the other incarnations are there. Or the expansions of Krishna, Vaikuntha Lok and Vaikuntha Lok. So you wrote this. So we should, in Gaur-Lila we belong to Mahaprabhu and we take shelter of Gaur-Ga Dhara. And then included in everything is included in Mahaprabhu. Vande Gurun. Obeisances to Gurujan, Vande Gurun, that is plural. That means Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. Vande Guru Misham, Isha Bhaktam. And then the Mahaprabhu's devotees who respect the Supreme Lord, Isha, who respect Krishna. Ishtadev, Isha, Isha Kata. Avataram, the avatar is Advaita Acharya. Tat Prakash and the Prakash, the manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Nityananda Prabhu, the first manifestation. Like the first expansion of Krishna is Balaram. Tat Prakash and Tat Shakti. Shakti, the internal potency, like in Krishna Lila Srimati Radharani, pleasure potency, Hladini Shakti, and in Gaur-Lila it is Gadadhar Pandit, the Shakti. So altogether they are part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then they are all included. When we say Krishna, Krishna's associates are included. Shinu Gaura Gadadhara Charu Kata. Listen, Shinu. Gaura Gadadhara Charu Kata, the very sweet pastimes of Gaura Gadadhara. So that is in Godum Dvip. That these pastimes happened. A beautiful pastimes. And so he wrote this stotram, 20 verses. Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Paro Harinama Rasamrita Panatayo. Hari Sevaka Sevaka Dharma Paro. Paradharma, we're talking about Dharma. Jaiva Dharma. Jivka Dharma. Sanatan Dharma. Vastav Dharma. Real Dharma. Eternal Dharma. Nitya Dharma. Paro Dharma. The superior form of Dharma, the ultimate Dharma. Hari Sevaka Sevana, Dharma Paro. Hari Sevaka Sevana. Hari Sevaka. Hari Sevak means the servant of Hari. Sevana, we serve him, that is the highest Dharma. As Krishna is also saying. That one who says, I am Krishna's devotee is not really my devotee. But one who says, I am the devotee of Krishna. He's really my devotee. Therefore, Mahaprabhu also says, he's a Lord, but he came as a devotee. Naham vipranacha narapati and Vaishna Shudro. I'm not a Brahmana, I'm not a Grihastha. Of course, but he appeared as a Brahmana. He acted as a Grihastha. But Gopi Bhattu Parakamalo Das Anudas. Das Anudas. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, the beloved of the gopis. One of the acharyas, was it Yamunacharya? He also wrote a verse, similar verse. Britya Britya, Anubritya. 7 times he's writing, I'm the servant of 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 Krishna. So that is, and it's not just saying that is real humility when one is understanding that one is insignificant. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. How big is the spirit soul? You cut the hair, the tip of the hair,
10,000 times.
100 times, and then again, that is 100 times. So that you cannot even see, even with the
naked eyes, microscope.
Microscope. So if one is on that platform, then one is really humble, and then one is really the servant of the servant. Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Paro Hari Nama Rasamrita Panarataha Hari Nama Rasamrita Panarata. So Hari Nama Rasamrita. So Hari Nama is Rasamrita, it is nectar. And then Pana means to drink. We're drinking nectar, Amras in the summer. We're waiting in 2 months. Amras will be there. Alfonso mango. Here there's so many mangoes. And also in Uttar Pradesh there are nice mangoes. Safeda. That's a nice mango. Or Langla and so many kinds of mango are there. So Amras, nectar. But the highest nectar is in connection, of course, we are for Krishna, then it is more nectarian. But how much you can drink Amras? Maybe half a liter, maybe 1 liter. If you take more, you'll get diarrhea. The rest is coming out. So we don't take too much. But Rasamrita, Harinama, Rasamrita. But Harinam you can take. You can drink as much as you want. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And no diarrhea, no problem. So Panarata, so we should drink Harinam, Rasamrit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant and listen. And we should remember Krishna. If we cannot remember Krishna, we should cry. So first we have to cry to Guru and then Gauranga, and then we can cry for Krishna. So, Panarata, so we should have Rati for chanting Krishna Nam. So Ruchi, taste for chanting Krishna Nam. Natidaina Daya Paramano Yuta. So what should be the consciousness? Natidaina Daya. So we should be always offering obeisances to the Lord. Daina, we should be very humble. Dayan, we should be very merciful to others. So beautiful verses he has given. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so he worshipped there. Rupanuga Dhara also. So here in this Godum Dvip, so he was staying there, and so he was seeing Mahaprabhu, he was seeing Krishna, and so he's writing this Jaya Dharma. And so he's explaining after Mahaprabhu's disappearance, Godrum Chandra, Mahaprabhu, the moon of Godrum, Vidhu. After he left, of course, some associates were there, and there was one Pradumna Brahmachari, associate of Mahaprabhu. He was staying there also. And then he had some disciples. And then, so he's relating that. And so these disciples, they were staying in Gudrum Dvip, and they had one place where they were staying, all the sadhus, known as Pradumna Kunj, Pradumna Kunj. And the main disciple was, his name was Premadas Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj, Premdas. And so they were all renunciants, and they had a little bhajan kutir. And so they used to do their bhajan in the morning and the evening. They used to come together. And one of them was speaking, Premdas Babaji, and then others. So very, if you start reading, then it's difficult to stop. At least it happened with me. So therefore, upon the request of the devotees, so we are reading the books and we are discussing and giving some of our realizations, understandings. So there's different persons are coming to this Premdas Babaji. And there was one sannyasi who was first a Mayavadi, but in studying Varanasi, he was very scholarly from a Brahmana family. But then he saw some devotees there. chanting the holy names, and we became attracted. And then he was asking them about what they're doing. And he had come to Braj also, but then he decided to go because he had heard that they're devotees of Krishna. But then they were actually also from Bengal, Navadvip. So he came to Braj and he had some experience of Krishna, something. And then he went to, because Mahaprabhu had been there and the great Vaishnavas, the 6 Goswamis, so some temples were established. But then he decided to go to Navadvip, and then he met this Das Babaji Maharaj, and he took initiation, formal initiation. Sometimes previously, so acceptance is there. Vidvadrudi, I'm accepting him as my guru, and the guru accepting him as my disciple. So one day, sir, we were discussing, he was asking question, Sannyasi Thakur, they called him, because he was sannyasi, and then, so he expressed his feelings towards Prem Das Babaji and that he accepted him as guru, and then, so one day then he said, yes, you're a qualified person, and I accept you, and your name will be Vaishnav Das. Just gave me the name, and that was it, initiation. No diksha, anusthana, no fire sacrifice. Okay, now I am a disciple, the witness is there, the deity is in the temple, the fire is witness, the devotees are witness. You understand now, right? You're my disciple. Okay, Guruji, yes. So sometimes it is required for the ordinary person, but extraordinary person, acceptance from the heart, with Vadrudi. So, from disciple and spiritual master accepting, heart from the heart, and then the whole life together. He will always be under the Guru, and the Guru will never reject the disciple who is trying his best. But then, in ordinary life and ordinary person, sometimes even initiation is there, but a disciple cannot follow the process, and sometimes they leave. So, but it is helpful to do, of course, and usually it has to be done because very few are extraordinary persons or already qualified due to previous life. So therefore, Diksha Anustan should be there, initiation should be there, a ceremony should be there, and then Sankalpa is there, taking the vow that yes, I will chant every day 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulatory principles. So this will make impression. That is also samskar. Like for household, the samskar is there. Getting married, it's not just coming together like nowadays, even it is happening. And even it is approved, I heard, by the government also recently, that okay, you can be together without marriage also. But it is not the Vedic system. You get married, then should be a ceremony there, and then you stay the whole life, no divorce. Prabhupada used to say the word divorce doesn't exist in Sanskrit language. So that is required for an ordinary person, for normal person. And that is a ceremony when the child is born. And that is also that is for purification, giving some impression. And then the name is given. And then the blessings are there of the Lord. Whenever there is a ceremony, the Lord is worshipped, Guru Garanga Krishna in our case. So that will give impression in the consciousness. Purification will be there. The blessings will be there. That is known as samskar. So, but the highest samskar that is coming from the spiritual master who is highly advanced. He will give impressions just by speaking, and no ceremony. But he will say, what is the goal of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas? Ultimately, the internal aspect is there, Radha Dasyam. Radha Dasyam. Radha Dasyam. So we do Vaidhi Bhakti, follow the rules and regulations, and then we chant the holy names, we get initiated, and we worship the deities also. So the sadhana bhakti. But then little later on, So, more purified consciousness, we should know what is the goal. That is trying to enter the realm of the spontaneous platform, Raga Marg, and then taking shelter of the Brijabasis. In our case, mostly the gopis, and then especially taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, Radha Dasyam. That is ultimately the goal. In the beginning, one may not even understand. But if Sri Guru is saying Radha Dasyam, it will go inside, hopefully, and then stay in the heart. Radha Dasyam, okay. And then after some time, you will realize what it is, also properly. So that is there. So, so these are the impressions which are there. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so is writing that very nicely. So this Vaishnava Das got initiated in a simple way. And after some time, Babaji Vesh was there. So first he was sannyasi, but he didn't force him. And he told him, he was saying also this sannyasi that maybe I should give up my sannyas and my one danda, ekadanda, of Mayamaya. Because now I understood. He said, okay, but slowly but surely, you don't have to hurry up. When you're ready, then you will do. So then he was staying there and he got initiated, and after some time then he felt that I should also be a Babaji and give up. Of course, the danda he had thrown away already before, because there is no there in our sampradaya. Three dandi. But then he also gave up the saffron cloth and he put on the dress of the Babaji. So, and then conversations are there between Premdas Babaji and Vaishnav Das Babaji. So, for our understanding, and nicely explained. And then different persons are coming, that has been explained, and then this subject matter is dealt with about Nitya Dharma and about Naimitika Dharma. So for the proper understanding, it is nicely explained and in story form so that it is enlivening, because sometimes the philosophy, simply to hear the philosophy, is not so much enlivening. But if it is in a narration, then it is very interesting. And it is nicely presented, so that, oh yeah, wonderful. And then already looking forward for the next day or the next time we can hear about that. So, yeah, we should start reading something. So, chapter 13. So, Praman and the commencement of Prameya, chapter 13. So that means, so Praman, that is actually the conclusion of, or the proof, the Praman, that means actually the proof. So that is mentioned in the scriptures. So then somebody may say, if you say something, okay, prove it, where is it mentioned? Like that so and then Prameya, so that means the object of knowledge. It's a Sanskrit word. So what is the object of knowledge? So that has been explained. And then he is giving the proof also. So that he has also mentioned in Dashamula Tattva. So Pramay Tattva and then Praman is there. So what is the object of our life? Vishaya Vigraha is Krishna. Krishna is the object. Krishna is the goal of our life. Of course, in the process of devotional service, that first has to be there. Following the process in the beginning, we cannot approach Krishna directly. So, but we take shelter of those who have love for Krishna. Ashray Vigraha, devote of love, that is first Sri Guru and then Gauranga and then Srimati Radharani. They are Ashray Vigraha. Of course, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Vishay Vigraha, is the object of our love also, because he's not different from Radha and Krishna. And we are hoping to enter both Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila. Right? Where you want to go? Sundari. You want to go Vaikuntha? No. Where you want to go?
Braj.
Braj. And you?
Goloka.
Golok, okay. Braj is the innermost part of Golok. Golok is very big, huge.
Anywhere a small dust.
Yeah. And then, but we want to also enter Gaur Lila, isn't it? You want to go Gaur Lila also? You? You?
Yes.
Gaur Lila?
Sure.
And Krishna Lila?
Yes.
Both, right? Yeah, good.
Wow.
Gaur Lila, Krishna Lila. Yeah. But some may only go to Braj and some may only go to Gaur Lila. But we hope that we'll be going in both.
Both.
Yeah, but whatever. So that is already there. It's not that actually something we can choose, but we cannot choose. It is already there. So it's like if you have a seed, a mango seed. From the mango seed, you cannot get a cherry tree. From the mango seed, you get a mango tree. So our Swarup is already there, but it is not manifested. So that is explained in this chapter, and of course, in the subsequent chapter also it is explained. And so that is now in Gudrum Dvip, and so one devotee came also, who was also actually from a Brahmana family, and first also Smarta Brahmana, but then he was studying Nyaya Shastra, which Mahaprabhu also studied. And so he heard about Nimai Pandit, because he was also studying Nyaya, always the Supreme Lord, he doesn't have to study, but that is his pastime, to show also, to set a good example. Even Krishna went to school. Avantipur, Ujjain, in the ashram of Sandipani Muni, for 64 days he was there and learned 64 branches of knowledge, one in one day. He knows everything, but still, just to show that we should go to school. Similarly, Mahaprabhu, Nimai, he went to school and he became known as Nimai Pandit, the great scholar, the greatest scholar. So he was very fond of Nyaya Shastra, logic, analyzing everything, and everyone was afraid of him because he was expert in debate, and the devotees were praying to Krishna, "Oh, it would be nice, and please make this Nimai also a devotee." Because first he didn't show love for Krishna, and they were praying to Krishna, let him become a devotee. But they were so surprised that they were attracted to him because he was so beautiful. Nimai, so beautiful, young, and long hair, and golden complexion. So all the symptoms of a great personality were seen in his personality. But they were thinking he's not devoted to God, to Krishna. He's just studying the scriptures, but still we are so attracted to him. And then they were discussing scriptures and they were not able to defeat him. He was so expert. And even sometimes they saw him and they were going another way because he didn't want to debate. And he said, come here, we'll have a debate. No, I'm busy, I have to go. So, but then he went to Gaya in Bihar in the name of giving oblations to the forefathers, Pindadan, but then also showing how to do, to offer to the Lord, to Vishnu, Bhog, and then offer that prasad to the forefathers. And there he met Ishwarapuri, who had also been in Vrindavan, in in Navadvip in Mayapur, and he actually took lunch one time in his house. So wonderful. Adbhut Mahaprabhu. So this devotee Brajanath, so he became attracted to Nimai Pandit because he was a great scholar of Nyaya, and then he also became devoted to Mahaprabhu, and then he heard about Mahaprabhu and he took shelter with his Premdas Babaji. And he became a great devotee. And he will be one of the main persons. 2 persons are the main persons by which now the second and third part of this book is explained. How they came to take shelter of Premdas Babaji, and then also there was one other Babaji, Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj, who is different than Raghunath Das Goswami. He was actually the disciple of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. No, Raghunath Das Goswami. So, but he was known as Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj. And Raghunath Das, later on, he was just known as Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami. So they took shelter of him, and then he helped them.
Shelter of Brajanath.
Of Brajanath took shelter of Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj. And there was one more person who came, Vijay Kumar, and he also took shelter. And under the shelter of Raghunath Das Babaji, they advanced, and then they went to Puri, Jagannath Puri, and then they performed their devotional service there, and they attained perfection there. So late the next afternoon, at the time of Goduli, when the air is thick with dust clouds raised by the cows returning to the Goshala, Brajanath arrived at Srivas Angam. So Goduli Samai, very auspicious. In India, usually the marriages are there at Goduli Samai, in the evening time, many times.
North marriages, North Indians.
Yeah, North India.
South Indians in the morning only.
Oh, morning.
Always.
Okay. We also do mostly noon time. Noon time.
Yeah.
Early morning we chant japa and we do puja. But then noon time we do mostly. But many they do Goduli Samai in northern. Even they do, even sometimes in Bengal, they do Ratri Bela, 12 o'clock at night, but we don't do.
Bihar people they do in the night.
Yeah, but we don't do. At night time we sleep. Early to bed, early to rise. So anyhow, Goduli Samai, auspicious time. That is, in Braj also when Krishna is coming back. So Maria Yashoda is seeing a cloud of dust. And she knows now Krishna and the cows and the cows are coming back. So he sat at Shiva Sangam on the raised platform under the dense foliage of the Bakul tree and waited for the elderly Babaji Maharaj, Raghunath Das Babaji. Babaji was waiting in his bhajan kutir, and for some unknown reason Vatsalya Bhav had arisen in his heart towards Brajanath. So the devotees, they have love for Krishna. And then they have love actually for everyone. But of course, then they're using their discrimination also. We have love for all the jivas. But if you go to the zoo and you see a tiger, we are not going to embrace the tiger. Otherwise, Haribol.
This Babaji mentioned is our...
Raghunath Das Babaji, but not Raghunath Das Goswami. He was disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami.
And he was the master of Vrajanath.
Yes, yes. So then he had Vatsalya Bhav towards Brajanath. I mean, seeing him just like his son.
Baby son.
Like his son. And it's natural for, he was elderly and they were younger, so then it is natural. It may be natural as a sadhaka also. As soon as a slight sound outside indicated Brajanath's arrival, Babaji came out and lovingly embracing him, took him into his kutir, which was situated on one side of the courtyard in an arbor of kunda flowers. So the pure devotees have so much love for Krishna. And Jivadaya, Nam Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jivadoya. The devotees, they are Advanced devotees, they have a taste for chanting holy names, and then they are ready to serve the Vaishnavas. And then they are also always eager to bestow their mercy or to help others. So then, especially if somebody is going to Sri Guru, to the Spirit Master, then the Spirit Master will have so much love for the devotees. And because of that, so then the devotees are blessed. And then they can advance in the spiritual life with the blessings of the Spirit Master. So, and the blessings, they may come in different form, Ashirvad. So for example, sometimes the Spirit Master, very great Vaishnavas, when somebody is coming there, or go even from far, they will offer obeisances, and this is known as Ashirvad Mudra, giving Ashirvad. Maybe the right hand or even with the left hand, no problem. You can give blessings. Sometimes chanting japa, right? We're chanting most of the time japa. So if somebody is coming off obeisances, we're not taking out the hand to give Ashirvad. But we do with the left hand. We chant Hare Krishna, and Ashirvad. So, or then by speaking, Krishna Matirastu. Krishna Matirastu. May Krishna be in your consciousness. Krishna Matirastu. Or Mangalam Bhavatu. May everything be auspicious. Ayushman Bhavatu. May you have a long life. May you live 100 years.
Arogam.
So, like this, so blessings by speaking. And by looking also. Sometimes if the devotee is far and there are many devotees, maybe he will look at somebody. Okay. Nice devotees. And then looking. Of course, the thinking is there also. Most important, by thinking also. And usually it starts by thinking. The Spirit Master, the advanced Vaishnavas, so they have so much love and they want to give blessings. And so if somebody is coming to them, then immediately, so then it will come. I should give blessings. And then by speaking or by hand gesture or by looking, then blessings are given. So here, so he embraced Brajanath out of mercy. So there he offered him a seat and sat beside him. Brajanath took the dust of Babaji Maharaj's feet on his head. Feeling blessed, he said humbly, "Oh great soul, yesterday you told me that you would instruct me on Dashamula, the fundamental principles of Nimai Pandit's teaching." So that is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was known as Nimai Pandit. So as a small boy, he was known as Nimai because he was born on the neem tree, and the place where she gave birth to him was a little house. So that was under a neem tree. So therefore the friends, they told Sachimata, maybe you should give them Nimai. I said, okay. But Sachimata's father was Nilamba Chakravarti, a great astrologer. So according to astrology, he gave a name. Which name? Vishwambar. Who is maintaining the universe, that is the Lord. And he knew that he's the Lord, but he didn't reveal. And later he became known as Gaurahari or Gauranga. And then after he took sannyas, Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So the teachings which we have here in this book or the books of the Goswamis, these are the teachings of Mahaprabhu. So he had instructed Rup Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Sanat Goswami, and others. So Dashamula Tattva, that is coming from Nimai Pandit. Kindly bestow this knowledge upon me now. When Brajanath asked this wonderful question, Babaji Maharaj became very happy and said affectionately. So if somebody asking good question, and this Master, the Vaishnavas are happy, okay, nice question, and very eager to say something. If nobody is asking question, what shall we say? But still we can say something. And if somebody is asking question, then one will feel inspired to say more. My son, I shall first explain to you the Sutra Shloka of Dashamula. Sutra Shloka, what means Sutra Shloka? Sutra, that means like Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta, Veda Ant, the end of knowledge. The essence of the four Vedas is there in Vedanta. And so Vedanta Sutra means the essence which is given in concise form. Like you can say something, I can say something about Krishna in 5 minutes. But to keep it short, I can say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Sutra form. And the verse is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Paribhasha Sutra. So that is also in short. That Ete chamsa kala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Ridyante Yuge Yuge. So that is the essence also, essential slogan of the Bhagavatam. And that we should remember throughout the Bhagavatam, because in the Bhagavatam explanation is there of the different personalities of Godhead. Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, Nrsimha, Varaha, Varaha Bhagavan, Nrsimha Bhagavan, all Bhagavan. So somebody may be confused. Well, who is now the real Bhagavan? So many Bhagavan. So therefore this verse is there. Ete chamsala kalam pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Swayam Bhagavan, the original Supreme Personality of God, is Krishna. Krishna's tu means certainly. There's no doubt. Indeed. And ete chamsa kalapumsam. All the other personalities of God had the expansions of Krishna. Vishwan Bhagavan. And that the purpose of his coming is there. Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam. Indra Adi, Indradev, Vyakul. He was disturbed. Why? Because of the demons. And others also. Paritranaya Saranam Vinasha Chaduskritam. So Krishna comes to protect his devotees, and then Vinashaya to Duskritam, Vinashaya to kill the demons. Dharma Samstapanartaya, Artaya, for the purpose, Dharma Samstapana, to establish Dharma. So here, Dashamula Sutra, the Sutra Shloka is there, the essence of the Dashamula. So everything is there in the first Shloka. And then he will explain further on. So there are 10 shlokas are there, or 11 with the Sutra Shloka. So my son, I shall first explain to you the Sutra Shloka of Dashamula, wherein the 10 ontological truths of Dashamula are set out in a condensed form. You are a scholar, so by proper deliberation you will be able to comprehend the true meaning of this shloka. So even if you are not so scholarly, but if you hear again and again, then you will understand. So the verse is as follows, and that so that verse should be learned. Of course, it's a long verse, and you can first learn all the shlokas also, but eventually this shloka should be learned. Actually, Srila Narayana Maharaj told his disciples one time that you have to learn this shloka. 2 shlokas he said you have to learn, otherwise you're not a disciple. So therefore, I have to remember that shloka. I know, but it's very long, and if you don't repeat again and again, you forget. So this is the one verse, and the other verse which is famous, which Prabhupada also recited many times, that you should learn also. It's also a long one. First you can learn some shlokas like Trinada Pisanichina, right? Aradhya Bhagavan Rajeshatanyas Dadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavad Varganiya Kalpitaha Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Mamaram Prema Pumatamaham Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhumatam Idam Tatradana Paraha. So that is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that Gauri Vaishnavas, we should learn this verse by heart. So eventually you should also learn this verse by heart, okay? You're young, you can learn. You just have to endeavor and practice, and then you can learn. It's a long one, but yes, Aradhya Bhagavan, our worshipable Lord, that is Rajesha Tanyas, is the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna. And similarly as worshipable is his holy place, his dham, Vrindavan dham. Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavarvarigana Yakalpitaha. So Ramya Kachit Upasana. Vrajavadu, the damsels of Braj, the gopis, especially gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani, who have conjugal relationship with Krishna. So their upasana, their worship, that is most exalted. Brajavaruvarigani Kalpita, that we cannot even properly understand in the conditioned state. But when you have more advanced, then you can understand the deep love of the gopis. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Mamalam, that Bhagavatam is the Amal Purana, the spotless Purana. There are 18 Puranas, but the most important one is the Srimad Bhagavatam, Amala Purana, Bhagavad Purana. So therefore Mahaprabhu, he was hearing every day from Gadadhar Pandit Srimad Bhagavatam. Prema Pumartha Mahan, Purushartha Detta, Arma Artha Kama Moksha. But the fifth Purushartha, that is Prem. We should try to attain Prem, love for Krishna. That is the goal. So we engage in devotional service, follow the process, and then we may attain Bhav, which is the sprouting of love, of Prem. So this verse has to be learned eventually. And then this one here, very long. Amnaya praha tattvam harim iha paramam sarva shaktim rasabdim tadbinamam sham chajivam prakriti kvalitam tadvimuktam chabhavat Veda Veda Prakasham Sakalamappi Hare Saranam Sura Bhaktim Sadyam Tat Pritim Evityupadishati Janam Gaura Chandra Swayam Saha. Very long. I know by heart, but yeah, if I don't recite regularly, then I sometimes also forget one verse. So, or one word of it. So in here, everything is explained. Praman, first point is Amnaya Prahatatvam. Amnaya, what is Amnaya? You know Sanskrit? Girls? We didn't learn Sanskrit in the school?
No.
No? No Sanskrit?
English school.
English, okay, English school. But previously sometimes they had to learn Sanskrit also for 1 or 2 years. You didn't have to?
Not all the schools.
Acha, because in Vrindavan, like the schools there, they have to learn Sanskrit.
Yeah.
1 or 2 years. And then they may continue or may not continue.
Correct. Here in the big cities, it is French.
Yes.
French?
Yeah.
Okay.
We both learn French.
Oh, tu parles français? Tu parles français? Vous parlez français?
I forgot everything.
Okay. Okay. So
2 years we
you
learned.
know French, no?
No.
No. What did you take? Only English?
Hindi.
Yes.
And?
Hindi.
Hindi, Marathi.
Marathi.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, here you have to learn Marathi, right? But Hindi is the national language and it's good. Yeah.
Disciplic succession. How many years?
Amnaya,
Disciplic.
yeah, that is the knowledge handed down
Mm.
in disciplic succession. Amnaya Praha, Praha proclaiming. What is Tattva? Param Tattva. Harim, Iha, Param Tattva, that is Hari, Krishna is Param Tattva. Paramam Sarva Shaktim, okay, that is explained later on. So the Praman, the teachings of the Vedas received through Guru Parampara are known as Amnaya. The teachings of the Vedas received through Guru Parampara are known as Amnaya. The infallible evidence of the Vedas, of the Smriti Shastras, headed by the Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as evidence such as direct sense perception, pratyaksha, they concur with the guidance of the Vedas, are all accepted as Praman, evidence. So the knowledge of the scriptures, or the knowledge given by the Spring Master, which is according to the scriptures, that is Praman, that is evidence. That Krishna is the absolute truth. That is, so that is as explained here. Tattvam, Hari. So Param Tattva, that is Hari. So that is the second. This Praman establishes the following Prameyas, fundamental truth. So Praman, the evidence, is establishing the different truth. So the first truth is Param Tattva. Sri Hari alone is the supreme absolute truth. So that has to be proven from the scriptures. So therefore, so in the Bhagavatam it is indicated, and so already that verse, Ite Chamsakalapam Sam Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, or even the first verse of the Bhagavatam. So Satyam Param Dimahi, that Krishna is Satyam Param Satya, Dimahi, we should meditate on him.
Janmadhyasya.
Janmadya Yasya. Yeah, so, but the main point is Satyam Param Dimahi at the end of that verse. We should meditate on the absolute truth, that is Krishna. And then Janmadi Asya. So the two ways of translating a verse, one is by Shabda and one is Anvaya. Shabda art is like you have the shlok, Sarva Dharman Parijyaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So you start with Sarva, means all, Dharma, religion, Parijyaja, you have to give up. But we say we have to follow religion, right? And how it is said that Sarva Dharma Parijyaja, you have to give up all religion?
Materially motivated.
That means the Naimitiga Dharma, which is there, mentioned, which is temporary. Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. And you go to me, you come to me. You take shelter of me. So that is Nitya Dharma, Jaiva Dharma. So that is the Shabdat, one word is given after the other, and then you can understand the meaning. So it is another way of explanation that is known as Anvai. So first what is most important that is given. So that is here, Amnaya Prahatatvam. So the absolute truth, that is Krishna, is alone the supreme absolute truth. And other shloka, that's what this was Janmadi Yasya. So Satyam Param Dimahi, that is at the end. But first that is explained in Anvaya. Satyam Param Dimahi. We meditate on the absolute truth, which is Krishna, Vasudev. And then Janmadi Yasya. And then you can explain Janma Adi. Janma Adi, so the Janma means the birth, that means the creation of this world. Adi, what is Adi? That means the maintenance and the destruction. So that is coming from him, from Hari, from Krishna. So that is another way of translating in Sanskrit or explaining in Sanskrit. So Paratattva, Sri Hari alone is the supreme absolute truth. Sarva Shaktiman, Sri Krishna is the possessor of all potencies. Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, so that is explained here as Rasabadim. Rasa, means the nectar or the transcendental mellow, Abda. So Abdim, that is the ocean. So therefore it is also mentioned here, Akila Rasamrita Sindhu is the ocean of nectarian mellows. And then Tad Vibhinam Shamsha, Vibhinam Tattva. Two kinds of jivas are there. Both the mukta, liberated, and baddha, conditioned jivas are his eternally separated part and parcels. So that is also known as Nitya Siddha and Nitya Bhadha. So Nitya Siddha are those who are ever liberated. Krishna's associates like Rupanuga Dhara, Rati Manjari and others. They have been serving Krishna since time immemorial, Radha Krishna. And they will never fall down to this material world. It is not possible. Second category of jivas are known as Nitya Bada. Since time immemorial conditioned. So, they also turn service of Krishna, but they are not serving Krishna yet. So, this material world is not permanent. This material world only sometimes it is there. Sometimes it is manifest, and then again it is not manifest. When Krishna is desiring, then the material world is manifested. And then the Nitya Bada Jivas, they come in this world. So when it is not manifested, then they're there in Vaikuntha, in the effulgence of the Lord, the Brahma Jyoti, the unlimited Jivas there. Even now, unlimited Jivas are there in the Brahma Jyoti. So, but there is no Maya in the spiritual world. There is no Maya in the spiritual world, therefore they cannot fall. Not possible. But when the material world is manifested in one part of the spiritual sky, and some jivas who are there, when it will manifest, and then they will fall in this world. And then the body is supplied to them by Lord Brahma. And then they are under the most material nature, and then if they're fortunate, then they come to understand their spiritual nature. So they are conditioned since time immemorial, also Anadi Bada. Anadi, since time immemorial, there's no beginning. Anadi. Since time immemorial, they're conditioned. So, by the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnav, the Bada Jiva, he may come to understand that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. And when he's engaged in devotional service, and by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, then he may realize his Swarup, and then he may enter the pastimes of the Lord. And once he's there with the Lord, then he will also never fall down. Once with the Lord, he will never fall down. But if the Lord is coming, then his associates are also coming, but they will never fall. And in this world also. Sometimes for the purpose of the pastimes of the Lord, like Jai and Vijay, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. So because the Lord wanted to have a good fight, so therefore they offended the four Kumaras. And then they had to come to this world. But only for 3 lives. So, and then they were liberated. Otherwise nobody is falling from Vaikuntha or from Golok. According to the scriptures, according to the acharyas. So we are repeating that. Akila Rasamrita, so Vibhinam Tattva, and then Bada Jivas, conditioned souls are subject to the control and covering of Maya. Mukta Jivas, liberated souls, are free from Maya. Eight, Achinta Beda Beda Tattva, that is explained. So that is also fundamental truth. Everything is non-different and different from the Lord. It is inconceivable. Achintya, Bed Abed Prakash, Bed Abed. Bed means difference, Abed means non-different. Like we are non-different from Krishna. We are also Satchidananda Swarup, but we are different. Krishna is Vibhu. Vibhu Chit Vastu. Chit Vastu means transcendental thing, Vastu. And Vibhu is great. And we are Anuchit Vastu. We are also spiritual entity, spiritual thing, but we are infinitesimal, anu. So we are not different and different. Even the material world is not different from the Lord and different. And the spiritual world also. And the spiritual world is not different and different. And it is transcendental, whereas the material world is not different from the Lord, but it is also different. It is the external manifestation. Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service is the only practice sadhana to attain perfection. By Shuddha Bhakti we can attain perfection. Under the 10th, Krishna Priti, transcendental love and affection for Krishna is the one and only final object of attainment. Sadhyavastu. Clear, right? Swami Bhagavan Sri Gauranga Dev has been instructed. Swami Bhagavan Sri Gauranga Dev has herein instructed the 10 distinct tattvas, fundamental truth to the faithful jivas. Eveti upadishati janan Gaurachandra Swayam Saha. So he gave the Upadesh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Himself, Swayam, Gaurachandra, he himself, he gave these 10 fundamental truths. The first of this Praman Tattva, the first of this is Praman Tattva and the remaining 9 are Pramay Tattva. First you should understand the meaning of Praman. That subject which is established by Praman, evidence or proof, is known as Pramay, that which is proved. And that by which Pramay is proved is known as Praman. So Krishna is the absolute truth. But then we need the Praman. So that is there in the scriptures. And so it is there in Bhagavatam, in the Vedic literatures. And so Jiva Goswami, he wrote a book known as Sat Sandarbhas, 6 Sandarbhas. So there he has given so much evidence, proof, to establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That the Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Purana, the spotless Purana. And devotional service to the Lord is the means by which we can attain perfection. So he's given so many Praman proofs. So therefore the Javadam is also an important book for the devotees, especially for those who are scholarly inclined, who must be well versed in order to defeat atheistic persons, or even some persons with some misunderstanding. So, therefore Prabhupada wanted his leading or scholarly devotees to learn these different literatures of the previous acharyas. Okay. Hare Krishna, any questions?
I will ask you the online whether any
Question? You have question?
So means
any questions in the online people. We otherwise will ask, open the forum here. I just wanted to know whether there's any question here. Some of you have been patiently hearing since last few minutes. So think about it and ask, raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll open the question here. There are some guests here. We'll open the question.
You can
here.
ask.
So in Golok there is no Maya.
In Golok there is no Maya, no
And
Maya.
In Brahma Jyoti or Brahma Loka there is.
No, there's no Maya.
So
But when the by Krishna's will, if the material world is manifested, then is it like a cloud? You see, for example, in the summer, clear sky, okay? And sometimes there's a cloud, right? A small cloud is there. And the birds are there, right? They're flying, and sometimes they're the clouds. Even did you ever fly in the plane? You flew in the plane one time? You look outside and you are in the clouds. You experienced. Then you are in the clouds. And sometimes it is shaking, the plane. Last time I came to Mumbai, I was flying from, I think it was from Agra or from Delhi. Anyway, from either Agra, no, from Agra. So I was in the plane and we went up. We were in the clouds. And then the plane was shaking. And everyone was screaming, ah, ah, ah. I was chanting, Hare Krishna, okay, it's up to Krishna. And it was shaking like anything, maybe for almost 30 seconds. And people were crying, the children were crying. And then of course, 30 seconds is a long time.
Yeah.
And this, and they were like, people were fearing for their life. But I was chanting Hare Krishna. But sometimes it happens, the plane is going down because it is there in the cloud, right? And then it's going down. Or some failure there in the engine and then it's going down. So when the material world is manifested, first it is known as pradhan, when it is not manifested. It is a mass which is there in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual sky, and it is known as pradhan, unmanifested matter. By Krishna's will it becomes manifest and it is known as prakriti, or what is the prakriti, what is the other word? Mahatattva. And material elements are there. By Krishna's will it becomes like a cloud. In the spiritual sky there's a cloud, and then the jivas who are there, they will fall in this material world. Then Mahavishnu is there, manifested, and then universes are manifested, and then the jivas will be in there, in short. So by the Lord's will, the material world is manifested, and the jivas who are around there, they will fall. And then they're in Maya. But when the material world is not there, then there's no Maya. That is, pradhan is there. So, but when it is manifested, and the material world is manifested, and the jivas who are around there, then they will fall in the material world. And they get the material body. So that is the situation. So it is difficult to understand, and we don't have to break our hand. It is therefore known as a chinti also. But that is whatever is mentioned here. So, okay. Otherwise the jiva will never fall. From Vaikuntha nobody is falling. Never. I mean, for the Vaikuntha planet, those who are serving Krishna, those who are serving Vishnu, those who are serving Ram, they cannot fall. Only the Nitya Siddha will never fall, but the Nitya Bada who are in the Brahma Jyoti, when the material world is manifest, in the spiritual sky, because nothing is outside Vaikuntha. The material world is part of Vaikuntha, in the spiritual sky, but it is material. But nothing is outside of Vaikuntha, of the spiritual realm. Nothing is outside of Krishna, not possible. It is within Krishna's kingdom. And by the way, Goloka is the biggest planet. And the Vaikuntha planets are small. All the Vaikuntha planets together, they are not as big as Vaikuntha. All the Vaikuntha planets together are not as big as Vaikuntha. Prabhupada is explaining one letter. And what to speak of the material world is just a small part.
There is one question, somebody has raised hand. Yes, Anusha, you can go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my most humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. You have actually carried Braj breeze and sprinkled all over us. It felt so, because it was we have seen you perform Maha Abhishek to the deities at ISKCON Vrindavan, but today it was a Maha Abhishekam of verses from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. and everything. We are so blessed, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
I have one request and one question, Prabhuji. My request is you very beautifully sung Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum.
Yes.
So my heart is hankering to hear it once more from your Vani, if it's
Okay.
possible, just 2 lines.
Yeah. Smara Gaura Gadadara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadara Pakshachara Shinu Gaura Gadadara Charukata Bhaja Goduma Kanana Kunjavidam Bhaja Goduma Kanana Kunjavidam Bhaja Goduma Kanana Kunjavidam. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare
And the question is, I remember that you said that we should learn to cry for Guru and Gauranga first, and then later on we can cry for Krishna.
Yes.
Is it right? Was my understanding right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, you see, of course, you can also cry for Krishna. You can also cry for Krishna. But the thing is that,
What you had said.
yeah, you see, I mean, for example, you can offer prayers to Krishna also. Hey, Krishna Karuna. So from that point of view, you may also cry to Krishna also. That you can do also. But the thing is, ultimately, to advance in spiritual life and to have the proper understanding and to have the pure love for Krishna, first you have to approach Sri Guru. And you take shelter of Sri Guru and you cry for Guru's mercy. And then you approach Mahaprabhu. And then by his mercy, then you can really cry for Krishna and you can love Krishna. So different kind of crying. One is pure crying and one is ordinary crying. So that is there. Just like when you serve the deities. When you do puja, first you do Guru puja, then Gauranga puja, then Krishna puja. There's a statement in the Puranas, Padma Purana or Adi Purana, explaining that Krishna is saying to Arjuna that first you have to worship Guru and then you can worship me. Otherwise I will not accept the worship. So first you worship Guru, and in Kali Yuga especially we worship Gauranga, and then you worship Krishna. So first Guru Puja, then Gauranga Puja, then Krishna Puja. Similarly, when we offer obeisances, Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabadagavam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha or Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Itadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. So you have to start with Guru, then Gauranga, offering pranam, offering flowers. So similarly with crying also. First you cry for Guru, then Gauranga, then Krishna. Okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, you have any question? You have to go up to Andheri, no? Both of
She
you.
is asking what is Brahmajyoti.
What is Brahmajyoti? Brahmajyoti is Krishna's effulgence. Like the Mayavadis, they say, we want to merge in the Brahmajyoti, the light, the absolute truth for them. It is one part of the absolute truth. It is the impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. It is Krishna's effulgence. Krishna is very beautiful, and so much effulgence is coming from his body. And by Krishna's mercy, the Brijavasis, they can see Krishna. And effulgence is there, but still they can see Krishna. So, but if one does not know Krishna, then if one is going towards the spiritual world, he will see the Brahmajyoti, so much light. So that is explained in Briha Bhagavatamrita also. This Gop Kumar, which is the character of this book by Sanatana Goswami, he went towards Vaikuntha and he saw this big Brahmajyoti, the light, and he was like blinded. But then later on he was able to see Narayan. So Vishnu's body is also very effulgent. And altogether, all the effulgence, all personalities of Godhead, that is Brahmajyoti. But Krishna is supreme. And ultimately everything is emanating from him. And is most beautiful, most effulgent. So the Brahma Jyoti is effective from Krishna's body or from all the other incarnations. So, okay.
There's one question in the chat.
Yeah.
Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura, how do you understand this, Prabhuji?
Antar Krishna Bahir Gora.
Hmm.
Antar Krishna Bahir Gora Dashitan Angadi. So that is a verse by Jiva Goswami. So explaining that that refers to Mahaprabhu. So I should write it down also, that verse. I didn't say it for some time. Antar Krishna Bhaya Gaura Dashitangadi Vaibhavani Kali Sanketanasya Kali Sanketanasya Sma Krishna Chaitanya Shritaha. So he's taking shelter of Krishna Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, and he's explaining Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura, that actually he's Krishna. So you see the form of Mahaprabhu. Antar Krishna, inside is blackish because he's Krishna. But then Bahir Gora, but he's covered by the effulgence, Gora, the golden complexion of Srimati Radharani. That is the meaning Antar Krishna Bahir Gora. He's actually Krishna, but he's covered by the effulgence of Srimati Radharani. Radha Bhava Dyuti Somitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. So it's Krishna Sarup, and we offer witnesses to him. So Krishna Sarup means he's blackish, Krishna is blackish, but then is covered by the bhav, the mood, and the duty, the lust of Srimati Radharani. So that is the meaning. So he's the Supreme Lord. Even there's a pastime in Braj, one time in Radhakund, and one time also in Vrindavan, Imlitala. So there's a famous place there, Imlitala. You have been in Vrindavan?
No.
Not yet? Okay, you should go.
Hmm.
Beautiful place, wonderful place. So, actually Krishna was there after Rasalila, Vamsivat, next to Jamuna, Rasalila was there. And he left the Rasalila because Radharani left. And at one point, it is Shringarvat. So Krishna decorated Radharani's hair. He was combing her hair, her braid, making her braid. And then he left her also, and he went to Imlitala. Imlitala, there is Imli, you know, Imli, tamarind tree. He was sitting there. And he was meditating on Srimati Radharani. And Radha Chintaniveshanam Yasya Kanti Vilobidaha Se Krishna Charanam Bande Radha Lingari Vigraham Radha Chintaniveshanam Yasya Kanti Vilobidaha. So thinking about Radharani, his complexion changed and became golden.
Jai Ho.
So that Krishna will take shelter of.
Jai.
And he's embraced by Radharani also. So then he was there, Krishna, and then his flute disappeared, and his peacock feather disappeared when he's there in this form, and that is the indication of Gaur Lila.
Hmm.
And then the gopis were looking for Krishna. Why is Krishna? Why is Krishna? Then in the distance they see, oh, look at this beautiful young
Golden.
man there, golden complexion. He looks like Krishna, but he's golden. And no flute and no peacock feather.
We cannot be Krishna.
Hi. And they were so attracted that they're going near to him. Radharani, the gopis, they're coming nearer and nearer, slowly and slowly, and he's still there, thinking of Radha, thinking of Srimati Radharani. And he's thinking of Radharani, then Radharani is coming. Because he has the greatest love, right? If you think of Krishna, Krishna can come. So he's thinking of Radharani, Radharani comes. When Radharani is in front of Krishna, then of course he can feel, and then he's opening his eyes and he's seeing Radharani. And then when he sees Radharani, he's not remembering Radharani anymore. And then his golden complexion is going away and Krishna is there.
Oh.
Blackish complexion again. And the gopis. Oh, wonderful form. We never saw that before. And then even, then Krishna was explaining something. And one time also in a dream, Radharani saw that golden form, Satna Vilasamrit. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has revealed that one time Radharani saw in a dream, and she asked Krishna also, "What a wonderful dream." He said, "Yes." What was the dream? And then she said, "I saw a beautiful place in my dream. And then I saw a river there, just like the Jamuna, but it's not the Jamuna. Different river. And the trees are bad, and the different trees also, palm trees, which are not there in branch. And then I was seeing one beautiful personality, golden complexion, there in that place. And then I was bewildered because at one point I was thinking that form is you. And another time I was thinking that form is me. So I'm bewildered. Please explain to me about this dream." And then Krishna is saying, "Look here at my Kaustubha Mani, and then it will be revealed." And then he showed her also that actually that form of Mahaprabhu is the combined form of himself and Radharani. So it was revealed to her. So that is the form of Mahaprabhu. So it's blackish, actually, but then it takes the golden complexion. So that is the indication.
Antar Krishna over here.
Yeah. And then he's coming with his associates. So we take shelter. And he has come. Kali Sankirtanasya Sma. He came in the age of Kali to distribute the holy names, to perform Sankirtan Yajna. So we take shelter of the Krishna Chaitanya. So who's there as a sannyasi. Okay, we stop here.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you all the participants for coming here.